Hello, my Vanguard of Light people. Oh my gosh, I got something so exciting to share right hot off the presses. This is good. This is good. And it's a new piece of technology that is coming to you. So if you haven't gone through Freedom Through Safety, you've got to go through it because it's built on top of that. So in that program, there's a part for trauma. So like trauma, like energetic trauma, where you kind of like, it's where a piece of you gets pulled out to where it helps you get through it. And it's like that little piece holds that trauma, but then it gets re-stimulated and it kind of like comes back into your awareness, in and out your awareness, freaks you out. And it's just a way in which you get through that trauma, but it's not very conducive in having a fantastic life thereafter. It gets you through. I mean, the first part, you gotta somehow survive and get through it, but it's not like then you thrive after until you can reclaim that. It's like reclaiming a piece of you, a power of you, and then it's like a supercharge. However, when you don't have the safety on lock, it's like, it's a double-edged sword. In the beginning, it's not. In the beginning, it's a win. It's 2 steps forward, 1 back. 2 steps forward, 1 back. But eventually it starts getting 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. But then there's the work and feeling it, and it hurts, right? If you don't have the safety. But once you have that safety component, then it's just 2 steps forward. You're getting a piece of your life force back, and you're not like kind of re-traumatized because you're in the conflict of the safety. So the trauma stuff that's in the Freedom Through Safety is amazing, but I got the next level. Oh, it's so good. And this is the trauma parts create these fear parts. And that's probably most likely what you feel of like, and it's like this nutty thing. And I was experiencing it today where it's like, there's stuff you want to do. Like I want to go, okay, I want to build this. I want to do this. I want to work on this. Right. And it's like your desire to do it. But then there's like the internal resistance. It's like, what? I made a video previously of that. Like, who are these two people? Who are these two people? Where like, there's a part of you that's like, I'm fired up. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna make that happen. I want to, in any area of your life, it could be like, a workout, a health thing you want to do, or a financial goal. Like, I want to achieve this, or a relationship goal. But then it's like, who's this other slime person that comes in and is like, well, you can't do that. That's not possible. Blah, 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 whatever. It's like, who is that other person? It's not like it's somebody external saying it to you. You feel like it's already all wired up of like, nah, you can't have that, man. I don't want to do that. So anyway, so I have my target of like, oh no, I'm gonna feel fantastic about this thing. Cause I was like, there's one project I want to do. I'm gonna feel fantastic about it. Like that was my mission this morning. I was like, okay, I'm coming up with my mission, cause I have all this stuff to do, right? Across all these different companies and businesses. And I'm like, I got so much to do. What am I gonna do, right? And I was feeling the resistance. I'm like, no, let's hone in. What's the game changer? What's the piece I'm gonna do? And I was like, okay, this one business, this one thing, like I wanna be fired up about it, right? But I wasn't feeling fired up. I was feeling like, I was like, gotta do that, gotta do this, gotta do that. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna be fired up, right? That was my mission of like, okay, you're gonna go after that, find what it is. And then like kind of like, not a voice, but like a part or something was coming up and be like, we don't like that. And I'm like, maybe. I wasn't buying it. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm like, okay, let's investigate what it is. And that's why I came across these fear parts. Oh my gosh. Because I was like, because it's not trauma. Because normally in the beginning, when you go through the Freedom Through Safety, like it's definitely trauma. Because this is basically, I'm freaked out. Like you're about to do something that is gonna terrify me. I'm freaked out, blah, right? But I've been like, oh my gosh, that was the first thing that came through for Vibration Shift was doing the trauma work. And I tell that story of like how I did the trauma. And like I went to like 2 steps forward, 1 back, it's still kind of, without the safety part, I didn't know it. I had to blaze the trail. You guys get the safety part first, and then you do the trauma, and then it's just like easy sailings. But I had to get the trauma out. But it's like, so it was like, I'll activate it, but I guess I gotta take a step forward. I'll activate it. I got another step forward. But you'll have a little easier thing. But anyway, so I'm checking, I'm like, that's not trauma. It's not trauma. I'm like, I know trauma. I did it backwards and forward. I'm like, what is this thing? Is it some other thing? Sometimes it actually is demons too. I'm gonna have to, because I was doing a bunch of demon work stuff too. And I have a work day going that's actually taking them out. So they might be the second. I'm gonna have to reframe that. So it could have been trauma and demons and then fear parts. I'll get that down with you. Trust me. Freedom Through Safety, get through that because this is gonna be the second level. It is awesome. But anyway, I was like, wait a second. So I was having my conversation with universe and it was like fear part. I'm like, fear part. And it was the same power as pulling in the trauma. When I got the trauma and that work getting dialed in and pull it in, it's like you immediately feel better. It's so awesome. You're like, it's this way, it's that way. I feel that pulling the trauma part. You're like, oh, okay, I feel better. And this was the same thing with the fear parts. It was so cool. That's why I'm making the video because I'm so excited. I was just fired up on that project that I was gonna do. And I was like, oh, it's good. But it doesn't start that way. It starts with just like, oh, this sucks, and that's terrible, and that's terrible. Like, okay, who's saying that? And I go through the ages and be like, oh, got that part. It's like, you. And it's like pulling that part in. It's like kind of like same with the trauma, like a little piece of you is out there. And it's out there looking in, saying like, oh, that's a terrible thing to do. And it's kind of like, who's saying that? Like, where is that coming from? But it's like its reality is like, no, it's bad, don't do it, right? Because it's like that fear coming back in, because what pulled it out was like a fear that was more like that trauma part pushed it out of like, to like get rid of it for then, but it's still there. It's still hanging out. And it's like, no, this is bad, right? Even though you're thinking about like, no, this is good, it's something I want, right? But it's like, no, it's bad. And it's like, it's stuck with that. And it's somehow it's attached to you. It's a piece of you. You need it. But it's like, I don't like what it's saying. But yeah, you pull it in, pull the pieces in, and like, man, you're just on fire. And it's fast. It's faster and it's less deep in the trauma. That's because the trauma's like branched them. And then once you pull the trauma in, it's kind of like there's no weight to it. That's another thing that was happening this week too, of like just false beliefs. Once you clear out the base, it's amazing how many you're just operating on autopilot of a boogeyman you don't really believe. So the hardest one is when you got the belief in there and it's a boogeyman, it's a lie, but you really believe it. You're like, oh, it feels real. But once you clear that out, you still could have the pattern of believing that boogeyman, but once you look at it and you're like, wait a second, I don't believe that. Like an amazing one is like getting on your own back. When you beat yourself up for the stuff that you should have done, it's like, what's the point of that? Like, one, you can't get on your own back. Like, metaphorically, it's like a perfect metaphor. You can't get on your own back. Like how do you reach behind you to get on? You know what I mean? But it's the same energetically of like, why are you beating yourself up for something you didn't do or whatever? Because how does that improve anything? How is that corrective? It's not corrective. It's to keep you stuck, because it's the same thing that caused you not to do the thing. It's trying to keep you not doing the thing by saying, hey, it's a good idea to get on your own back, right? So hopefully that's a little tidbit. But it's like that, to where when you pull those things in, like that is the resistance. That is the thing you're feeling, because there's that dissonance between you and that fear part. And that's the thing. It's like, oh, it doesn't feel good. But once you pull it in there, it's no longer there. How cool is that? It's so fun. It's just no longer there. You don't have that like, oh, I gotta push through and do stuff. Like, how many people have got that push through to do stuff? It's something I want to do, push through and do that. Or like even like perfect examples, like working out, like, oh, I gotta push through to do that. What if you were excited to work out every day? Don't you think you'd be in better health, better fitness if you were excited for it, as opposed to, I want the result, but I don't really like doing it. So this is the game changer. Pulling in the fear parts. Once you've cleared out the trauma, so freedom through safety, let's get the trauma, because I will be bringing out the fear parts, pulling that in, because, oh, it's so fun. Oh, I'm so excited to dig in deeper. Not in the beginning. It didn't want me to. It didn't want me to look. These parts like, no, don't look. It always piques my curiosity, because I'm like, this is something good for me. I got a whole bunch of chatter saying, don't look. So you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be looking. I'm going to look. I'm going to look to see what it is. So it is some awesome coming for you. Thank you for being here, checking out my channel. I hope you join me on Freedom Through Safety. It's doing energy work in your unconscious mind. It takes moments to learn, because you're already doing energy work. We live in an energetic place, world, amazingness. This is just a 3D reality. It's just to print out what's happening in the 5D. Come check us out. Until we talk again, have a blessed day or a blessed night.